No one noticed him at first. They never do. Every morning at exactly 6:12 a.m., the man arrived at the bus stop. Not early, not late, always 6:12. He stood in the same spot, one foot slightly ahead of the other, eyes forward, hands empty. He did not check his phone. He did not pace. He did not sigh. He simply stood. The bus came at 6:19. The doors opened. People pushed past him. He boarded last, scanned his card, and sat in the third seat on the right. Every day. If you asked anyone on that bus to describe him, they would hesitate. He's just there, someone might say. And that was true. The man worked at a building with no sign on the front. Inside, the lights were always on, even when the sun was bright enough to make them unnecessary. His desk faced a wall, not a window, not a person, a wall. On the wall was nothing. He liked that. He completed tasks that did not require creativity, judgment, or explanation. Numbers went in, numbers came out, the system accepted them. That was enough. At 5:04 p.m., he shut down his computer. At 5:06, he stood up. At 5:11, he exited the building. At 5:37, he was home, every day. His apartment was small and arranged once, years ago, and never rearranged again. The couch faced the television at a precise angle. The television was rarely on. The kitchen table had one chair. There was no dust, because dust requires disturbance to settle unevenly. He cooked the same meal every night. Rice, vegetables, protein, measured, not seasoned heavily. He ate slowly, not to enjoy it, but to finish it properly. At 9:42 p.m., he washed his plate. At 10:03, he lay down. At 10:11, he slept. Every day. This was not sadness. This was not discipline. This was not peace. It was containment. The man had learned long ago that if you did everything the same way every day, nothing unexpected could enter your life. No surprises, no losses, no moments that asked too much of you. Nothing could go wrong if nothing new was allowed in. And for years, this worked. Until one morning, at 6:12 a.m., someone was already standing in his spot at the bus stop. A woman. She wasn't doing anything strange. She stood exactly where he always stood, feet aligned with the crack in the pavement, facing forward. She wasn't on her phone either. She wasn't pacing. She was doing what he did. He stopped one step short of the spot. This was inconvenient. He considered standing slightly to the left, but that felt wrong. The angle would be off. The distance from the curb would change. The day would start incorrectly. The woman noticed him then. She turned her head just enough to acknowledge his presence. "Oh," she said, "do you stand here?" He nodded once. "I can move," she said. She didn't, though. She waited. He waited too. The bus arrived at 6:19. The doors opened. People pushed past them. This time, the woman boarded last. He boarded second to last. He sat in the third seat on the right. The woman sat in the fourth. This should not have mattered. It did. All day he felt slightly misaligned. Numbers went in. Numbers came out. But his eyes kept drifting to the blank wall, as if expecting it to change. That night, he ate his meal at 9:41 instead of 9:42. He noticed. The next morning, she was there again. Same spot, same posture. This time, she smiled. "Good morning," she said. He nodded. "Third seat?" she asked, glancing at the bus as it approached. He froze. "Yes," he said, surprised by his own voice. She nodded, as if confirming a theory. They rode in silence. Days passed. She was always there, always in his spot, always one seat behind him. They spoke occasionally, briefly, about nothing important, the weather, the bus being late by 30 seconds one morning. He learned that she also worked in a building with no sign. He learned that she also ate alone. He learned that she had not missed a day of work in 8 years. Neither had he. One evening, at exactly 5:11 p.m., she walked beside him instead of ahead of him. Do you ever wonder, she said carefully, what would happen if you didn't? He knew what she meant. If I didn't what? He asked. Show up, she said. One day, just one. The idea hit him like a sudden drop in altitude. His chest tightened. That would cause problems, he said. For who? She asked. He did not answer. The next morning, she was not at the bus stop. He stood alone in his spot. Relief came first, then something else. A thin, sharp disappointment he had no name for. The bus arrived. He boarded last. He sat in the third seat. The fourth seat was empty. All day, the wall felt closer than usual. That night, at 9:42 p.m., he stared at his plate longer than necessary. At 10:03, he lay down. At 10:11, he did not sleep. At 6:12, the next morning, he stood at the bus stop. She did not come. At 6:13, something inside him shifted. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic. He stepped back. Just one step. When the bus arrived, he did not board. People stared. Someone bumped into him. The doors closed. The bus left. The street grew quiet. At 6:21 a.m., he was still standing there. For the first time in years, the day was uncontained. He did not know where to go, and in that open space, frightening and empty and alive, he realized something terrifying and true. He had not been protecting himself from chaos. He had been hiding from possibility. At 6:27 a.m., someone stood beside him. The woman. She smiled. "Took you long enough," she said. He laughed, not loudly, not confidently, but genuinely, and for the first